So that's where we're at. We've got teak, we've got Douglas fir, we've got loot. So I think first things first, the teak. There's the result. I think it's good. It's not perfect, but it's good. You can see where the old fittings sat. The wood is quite a bit darker. And the difference between the pieces is considerable. Although that doesn't surprise me because that's the nature of teak. Even from the same tree, you can have dark and brighter wood. So there's the piece I inlaid over top of that hideous crack. And there's something else I noticed. I really wish when I had started repairing this stuff that I had come up with my epoxy coloring solution earlier. This is just straight epoxy with the adhesive fiber added to it. So it's just bright white. You can see it all over the place. That piece there is a previous owner's repair. The rest is mine. But there's a spot where I added teak sawdust to the epoxy. You can see it matches. There's another spot right along this edge here. That there's a chip or splinter taken out. So I built up a dam with tape, filled it with my teak sawdust epoxy, same as that hole there. And it looks much, 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 much better. There's a spot where you can see it. The original I did with just straight epoxy, and then I went over it again with sawdust colored teak. So I'm very tempted to take that white epoxy out and do it again, but I'm more interested in going sailing than repairing teak, so I think I'll just leave it, maybe paint it brown or something. After all, it is a 45-year-old boat. So we're going to let that sit there and dry out. So we got the first set of teak cleaned, and I sanded the bowsprit platform, and I think I'm going to get it cleaned too. Why not? I still have some epoxy work to do on a few of these pieces, but for now, might as well clean them up, get the job done. Here's the cap rails. So I've done round 2 of the teak cleaning. There's the result, the bowsprit platform, little pieces of teak, and the cap rails I wasn't happy with. I need to rinse them off in a couple of minutes, but that's where we stand right now. And I wanted to show you this. I'm no chemist, but when chemicals do that to a brush, I think it's pretty harsh stuff. Keep away from children, my word. The time has come for another noble experiment live on Wake for Me. So I'm going to call this episode Bowsprit Blues because I showed you the checking and waning in this earlier. And the way I'm going to overcome that is to fill it with penetrating epoxy. What is penetrating epoxy? Well, it's just like regular epoxy, except for it is almost like paint thinner. It is so thin. This product I'm using is called System 3 S1. It is a 2-part. You mix it up, let it sit for 15 minutes, and then brush it on. And from what I've been told, it is much like water. So this is a first for me. If it's not a first for you, well, if it is, enjoy and watch me make my mistakes. S1, 2-part epoxy sealer by volume, 1 part and 1 part. And that's what it looks like, a big bucket of pee, very liquidy. And once you mix it up, gotta let it sit for 15 minutes.